What's good, y'all? Y'all ever just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, I look good? Shit. This video was brought to you by CarMax. You have a dirty ass, dry ass, crusty, dusty motherfucking ass mouth? Bitch, moisturize that shit with some motherfucking CarMax, cause that shit smell like ass and it look crusty and dusty. So no, I'm just kidding, y'all. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jihad Book, back again with another motherfucking video. And you already know though, sorry, shit, my throat is still a little fucked up from the last video where I was talking about how it'd be cold in my apartment and didn't hot outside, and I got a cough right now because of that. But anyway, yeah, today's YouTube video it's kind of like another hot box session for real, because I just be in my car smoking and thinking about life. But today I'm not doing like, freestyling. I'm not practicing my freestyles or nothing. Today I'm just gonna sit here and talk. I got some shit that's been on my mind like crazy lately. Okay, so yeah, sorry. I'm getting this callus off my hand. But anyway, before we even go ahead and do that, please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you care on all that good YouTube stuff that I always say. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this YouTube video. Okay. So today's video is a little random and weird and off the wall and out there. It's definitely out there. And y'all gonna look at me like I'm a little crazy after this, but it's cool. But today's video is about my thoughts and opinions on this whole abortion law restriction shit that whatever his face, Joe Biden, apparently, I guess, is making it legal to get an abortion in some states or some shit. I don't know. I don't really watch the news because it makes me depressed. But I have heard about this one specific law through Instagram. So this is my thoughts on it. First, let me spark up before we get into this shit. Oh my God. My plug just came out of the house, y'all. One of my plugs, because I got like 7, and this is one of the cuter ones. One who I think I killed, but he's like kind of an asshole too, but he's like a cute asshole. I don't know, but he just pulled out with one of his, I think it's one of his little like side chicks, because he has like 3 different, I didn't see this nigga come in and out the house with like 3, 4, 5 different girls. I'm like, nigga, you got 7 different girlfriends. You better stop before they all find out about each other and fuck you up. See, this is why I don't fuck with niggas. Niggas is cheaters. Niggas is hoes. Anyway, but he is fine. Sorry, back to the main topic. Yeah. So today's video is about me talking about my thoughts on this whole abortion shit. So me personally, I'm just an esoterical ass nigga, and I always think that there's a bigger picture, and I'm like always looking at the grand scheme, philosophical outlook on life. So I'm always thinking like this. But me personally, I think the reason why they're making it illegal for basically women to get abortions is for 2 reasons. Actually 3. Reason number 1, just so they can have another reason to tell black people, specifically black women, black queens, black goddesses, what they can and cannot do with their body, as the same shit they've been doing for fucking centuries now. I think that's the first thing. It's just simply control, just to say, just because they want to, like literally no other reason other than I just want to control some shit. That's when people who just have control or have control issues, they just want to control shit just because. It's not really even for a specific reason. It's just because they can. Literally just because they can. So that's the first reason. I think that they just want to basically keep black people in their place. Like, don't get out of line, because white people are starting to take over. A lot of black billionaires is popping up. Rihanna, LeBron, Nicki Minaj will be one, and I give it 2 years max. I promise you my bitch Nicki is going to hit 1 billion. You bitches ain't ready. You bitches is not ready for my bitch to hit 1 billion, but we ain't even going to get into that. Anyway, Nicki, she's going to get there though. Watch. Mark my motherfucking words, bitch. Anyway, so, but yeah, like, I really feel like it's just to keep black people in their place, and just another tactic to keep us down in spirit, and to keep us from rising the fuck up and putting bitches back in their motherfucking place and taking back control of our motherfucking planet that is our motherfucking birthright. This is our planet. We was born here. We was born to live here. This planet was created specifically for us, the original man. No shade to my white people, because y'all know I love me, my white people, but like, let's be real. Black person is the original man, period. Anyway, that's the first reason. Second is about to get a little bit even deeper, why I think that they are putting all these restrictions on the abortion shit. Second is because I feel like they want to kind of keep black people in this cycle, I feel like, because they know that they fucked up black families. They fucked over black families so much throughout history that if they put this restriction on the abortion laws, a lot of younger black females are going to get pregnant. You know, a lot of younger black women get pregnant in their younger ages, and they're not really going to be able to fully afford it and take care of the baby, and then it's just going to cause more generational curses and poverty for the next generation and next generation next to come. You see what I'm saying? It's causing a domino effect, because now, you know, this young black queen just got pregnant out of nowhere, you know, just being a child, having unprotected sex, and then, but now, like, now you have a whole human to take care of, and you have no idea what to do, and you can't get rid of it because they won't let you now. So it's just like, you're just kind of stuck in that season of generational curse, I guess, of taking care. Not saying a baby is a generational curse. I think a baby is always a blessing, but like, I think it's definitely better to bring a baby in when you can afford it rather than just by accident. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another reason to just keep black people in that poverty cycle that we've been in for centuries. And then finally, this is the third and final reason why I think so. This is the biggest reason and the main reason why I think they're doing this. This one I wanted to save to last, because this one's like the deepest. This is like some deep dive shit for all my lovely tea sippers. Like, this is like some shit like that. Some shit that she would put on her motherfucking Discord that she don't like. But I don't have a Discord, so bitch, I'm just gonna put it on this motherfucking YouTube video. But anyway, third and final reason why I think they are like so pressed about these fucking abortion laws and shit, and telling bitches what they can and cannot do with their body as if they have a motherfucking uterus. Because I know if I was a female and somebody told me that what I can and can't do with my motherfucking uterus, bitch, bitch, watch me do it anyway. I dare you, bitch. Anybody can get slapped. Anyway, so the third reason is, okay, so how am I even going to start this out? I was taught growing up by my grandfather, who is a Freemason of the 33rd degree. He's a smart ass nigga and knows some shit about the world. Anyway, he be telling me shit all the time. You know, he tell me what he can, because he can't tell me everything, because, you know, obviously, like, that shit is like secretive and whatnot. But like, I know a little bit. You know, I know a little about a little bit. Anyway, so the reason why I really think that they're so pressed about these abortion shit is because white people, once again, no shade to my white people, but because they are like genetically modified or mutated version of the original black man. I'm sorry, I was taught that the white man was made as a genetic, I don't want to say fuck up, because they were genetically created, but they were like literally genetically bred off of the black man genes. Like, they took certain genes and like was playing with genes, and that's how they created the white man, faking genes from the black man in some weird lab up in the Caucasus Mountains. It's okay. Basically, this is how the story goes, is that there was a evil scientist named Yakub, who his name is Yakub. He basically is a evil fucking genius who has a head he has 2 brains and his head is so fucking big. And I know this sounds crazy, but this shit is real to me. I'm sorry. It was thousands of years ago. He had a big ass fucking head because he had 2 brains and he was smart as hell. And he learned how to basically create another race of humans, and he created the white man to basically take down the black man or like ruin the black man's empire for 6,000 years, or to cause struggle for 6,000 years, because he was mad that he had to live on the surface with the normal humans, and he got made fun of all his life growing up and shit. This is a real story. You can look this up. Just look up the story of Yakub. I'm telling you, this is real shit. I'm talking about a lot in one spot. But anyway, so yeah, he was just, he was mad about that he had to live cast away from his family, because originally he comes from like the center of the earth. There's like a theory that there's like a whole world in the center of the earth, yada yada, which I think is true. I mean, I can see it. Like, I don't know, I'm all for that conspiracy theory shit. But anyway, so the story is he had to live on the outside of the earth. He couldn't live on the inside of the earth with his people, where he could live forever and all that shit. So because of that, he was mad, and he created because basically his parents had him out of wedlock, which is why they got kicked out of their little kingdom, and which is why he had to grow up on the surface of the earth and, not live forever and be made fun of for having a big head all his life, yada yada yada. And that's why he's mad. Then he created the white people, and then the white people took over the black people, and they have basically been running shit for the past 6,000 years. And the Vatican knows all this shit. They have all that shit. Like, all the information on Egypt that has been lost, they have it all. Like, this is shit that my grandpa has told me. So I'm sorry, anything that he tells me, I think is true. I just do, because I don't see why, like, my grandpa doesn't have a reason to lie to me, So he's told me some crazy shit about some shit he's seen. Certain shit I don't want to say on here because I'm scared Men in Black might pop up in my door. But I don't think they'll give too many fucks about this, because yeah, I'm exposing, but this is like shit that people kind of already know for real. But anyway, and it's out there on YouTube. Like, you can literally look this up on YouTube, what I'm saying. This is not nothing that I'm just pulling out of my ass or out of some secret Masonic book that I'm not even supposed to have. This is literally on YouTube. You can Google this shit. So anyway, yeah, he basically created the white people, and they took over for 6,000 years, and then the Vatican knows about it and all that shit. But the point I'm trying to get to, because I've been kind of ranting for 5 minutes, is that the reason why I think they're so big on this abortion shit is because in that whole spiel I just gave out, what I learned is Yakub, when he made white people, one thing about them, they could only produce for up to like a certain number of generations. I think it's like 6 or 7 generations. This is actually true, I think, because if you look it up, white people are at the lowest fertility rate of all races. Like, they are starting to have trouble reproducing. That's why all these fucking white bitches is going out here and getting NBA players and shit, aka the Kardashians, they're trying to get ready for their next dynasty generation by basically switching up, making their people black. You know what I'm saying? So they're mixing with black people because they know their time is running the fuck out. It's like, I think white people can only produce for up to 6 to 7 generations before they start having fertility issues and just can't produce. And that is true. You do hear a lot about women, specifically in white families, who can't have a baby, so they adopt and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's proof that is like, what that video was talking about, the story of Cuba, is true. Like, he basically made the white man to bring destruction to the black man for 6,000 years, which is now almost up, and their time's almost up, and now black people are starting to take over again. Hence all the black billionaires coming up now, like Rihanna, LeBron. It's a lot of black billionaires popping up, like more than, it's not like a lot, it's still a handful, but that's a lot compared to what the fuck would have been 200 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, one black billionaire is a lot. 200 years ago, nobody would have thought of that shit. Now I could probably name 7 if I really thought about it long enough. So like, to have 7 black billionaires and from, that you can just think of, that's unheard of. So I don't know. I think it's true. I think what it is somewhere white people, the people who like run whatever at the top of the fucking food chain, I don't fucking know. They know that white people's time is running the fuck out. They can't produce no more, and they're like, shit, what are we gonna do? Because our race is about to die the fuck out. Like, the Ebenoid tribe is coming back. That's what they called it in the video. They called black people were like the Ebenoid tribe. There was like different tribes, and the original tribe was the Ebenoid tribe or some shit like that, which Ebenoid is ebony, like black. You know what I'm saying? That's same shit. So I don't know. Like, it's just interesting to me to think about shit like that. Like, this is like some deep esoterical shit. Like, I really think that's why they're so strict to this abortion shit, is because they're trying to basically they're trying to keep black people in poverty and force white women who get pregnant, who don't want the baby, to keep their baby, because they like, look, y'all gonna have to keep y'all's baby, or ain't gonna be no more white people left in about 5 to 10 years, which is very true. The white race is definitely like depopulating rapidly. Like like a lot of white people are merging with other races now. Like, you know, a lot of white dudes like Asian people, you know, there are white dudes who like black girls and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I like white dudes, you know what I'm saying? I'll make a baby with a white dude. Let me stop. But I'm just saying, like, that is like crazy to me. Like what if, like, I could see it being true. Like, what if, I feel like there's more to the world than what people try to like act. People think the world is so like just logical and just black and white. No, baby, there's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray. There's probably shit out there that exists that you wouldn't even think. I bet you unicorns exist, bitch. Like they just don't want to be found because they don't want to be hunted or some shit. I personally believe in mermaids. I believe in aliens. Like, I literally believe in all that shit. Like, I believe in all that shit. And then another quick side note, like, because I was talking about the Vatican earlier, I saw this documentary. I saw this documentary about how the pyramids were really built. Because for all my life, I've been very obsessed with the pyramids in Egypt. Like, I've always liked shit like that since I was a little kid. But recently, I saw this documentary. It's like a 4-hour fucking long documentary. It's called Great Pyramid Cave 2019. You can go look it up yourself if you want. But it's really good. And it breaks down basically how they think the pyramids were built. And personally, I believe it like 100% because they like put a lot of money and research into this documentary one, and it was 4 hours long. Like, they literally they tested their science in the documentary. So like, they showed you like how they came up with this conclusion and all this. So like, I personally believe it. That was a bad documentary. That shit was, I love a good documentary. That shit was fire. But basically what the way they said the pyramids were built, which once they said it, I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of fucking sense. It's very simple. It's not as complicated as people think. People keep trying to say aliens or they had levitation shit, which they might have, but this is how they was built, in my opinion. They basically like had an ancient form of concrete, and they built molds out of wood of the pyramid blocks, and literally poured the molds into place, and literally just like let it dry, like laid the whole first layer of the pyramid, let that shit dry, built the second layer of stone, and then literally just kept stacking it up until it got to the top like a pyramid. Like, it's literally simple. Like, they literally had concrete. I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, they just use concrete, the same shit we do today. Because have you ever heard the saying, nothing is new under the sun? Concrete is probably not, they probably had concrete for I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, like, concrete, yeah, it's like a great invention, but it's not something that's so like, oh, that could have only been discovered in the 21st century, whatever. That shit probably could have been discovered thousands of years ago, because concrete is literally just a mixture of rock and water and a little bit of other shit that they can find themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they didn't have iPhones and shit back then doesn't mean humans were just fucking stupid. They were still smart. They still had intuition. They still had, you know, their insight, their pineal gland, the higher power speaking to them within. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had cognitive abilities. They weren't just fucking retarded, you know? No, let me not use the word retarded. I don't like saying that word. But they weren't just fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. Hold up. But yeah, that's the first thing. And then basically the way they would melt the concrete to actually like pour it, or like melt stone, because you know how they had like granite, they're like, how do they move these heavy blocks of granite and shit? They didn't move it. They poured it into place. That's the thing. They had these giant ass magnifying glasses that would use this, literally the natural heat from the sun, and like it would bear down, it would like beam into a specific spot of concrete, and it was so hot, it was like it was like 2,000 something degrees. It would just melt it, and they would take that and pour it into place into the molds. And that's how they made the concrete, or all their statues that they had made out of granite and shit, like these 50, 100-ton statues. Like, how the fuck did these people move these statues, these concrete statues? They didn't move them, they poured them into place. That's what we were missing the whole time. They didn't move them. They didn't use vibration. They didn't use aliens. They poured them into fucking place. And who would have thought? That's the simplest fucking way too. It actually makes a lot of sense. Like, even when you hear it, it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Like, they just poured it into place. Like, from a construction standpoint, I have a construction degree that literally makes sense. So yeah. And then, you know, the people from the Vatican and shit found the fuck out, and they was jealous and took it and took all the knowledge and hid it and didn't want nobody to know, and then changed history, and then took over Egypt, and Yeah, and now white people have been running this bitch since, but their time is almost up because they 6,000 years is almost up. And I think his name is Yashmael, the dude who's supposed to basically fix what Yakub did. He's like basically Yakub's brother, comes from the same people as them, but he got to live in the center of the earth, and he's supposed to be coming back to help the earth and taking, like, this is where the 144,000 comes in, yada yada yada. But according to the story I saw, that 144,000 thing already happened, and then he came back. Like, he took 144,000 people to go with him to the center of the earth to basically he took a whole bunch of different races. He took them to the center of the earth to basically turn them back into black by pairing them up with each other and basically doing arranged marriages to make offspring that will eventually turn back to, you know, being the original Ebenoid tribe, or back to being black. You know, if you know how genes work, eventually it'll go back to the old world. Basically, he did that to prove that eventually everything that Yakub did will work itself out. All people will eventually be black again, is basically the point he was trying to make. And that's, like, I know that sounds kind of racist, but, like, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just telling you the story I heard, is that, like, that's basically what it, like, white people were a genetic, I don't want to say mutation, because that makes me sound like I'm being, like, prejudiced towards white people, but like a genetic alteration from the original black man to destroy the black man. That's the way the story goes, from what I was told through my grandpa and just what I've learned throughout my life. And then they basically were given 6,000 years to take out the black man, but now their time's almost up and black people is about to rise again, and yada yada yada. So I'm just kind of sitting back and watching. Like, we just gonna see how this shit plays out. It might be true, or I might just be batshit crazy, but I guess we'll see now, won't we? Anyway, that's really all I wanted to talk about in this YouTube video. I don't know, this shit like that is just interesting to me. It's just very interesting to me. Like, I don't know, like conspiracy theory, philosophy, shit like that. And like, I've always been fascinated with the stories my grandpa would tell me growing up as like a Freemason and shit, and like all just the little stuff he would tell me, like what he believes is out there and real. Like, shit is crazy, or like shit that he's seen that I'm not about to get into, because like I said, I don't need the Men in Black showing up at my door. But like, some of this shit is like really like crazy. He tried to get me to join the Freemason. He was like, you should join since you're always so curious, yada yada yada. But see, the thing about me and shit like that, I got a big ass mouth, and I don't want to, like, you know, become a Freemason and then be the nigga like saying, oh my god, y'all, guess what the fuck I just found out? Like, that would literally be me. So I think I'll just keep my ass in the dark. You know, ignorance is bliss. And, you know, I just prefer to stay in the dark and not have the Men in Black at my door to get me. So yeah, because I feel like if I stay on this end of shit, it's like I'm just saying shit that like y'all kind of already know. It's just, I'm just like, I guess, reiterating it or confirming it or whatever, but like, this shit is already out there, or like you can literally Google everything I just said. So yeah, but the shit my grandpa me telling me, that shit you can't Google, you can't even find it in a book. Like, so I'm gonna like keep that shit to myself. But I'm like, yeah, I don't want to put myself in a position where I might fuck up and slip up and then get myself offed. You know, I did not commit suicide. Anyway, let me get the fuck off of here, because now I'm just talking. But anyway, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about the shit I just said. Like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just wanted to get esoteric with it. I don't know. That shit has been on my mind lately. Like, I really feel like that's like the biggest reason why they like are trying to like control women's bodies, is because white people was scared. They scared. They don't know what to do. They know their time is up and they can't produce no more. They running out of generations to produce. So I really think that's what it is. Like, they that's the only thing they know what to do, is to basically force people to keep their babies and to merge with, I'm not gonna say mix with other races, because they want to keep the white race, but like they can only produce for so many generations. So it's like they're scared. They don't know what the fuck to do. Anyway, let me get the fuck up off of here. If I have any white people who watch me, I hope I didn't scare y'all away. I still love white people, you know what I'm saying? I still love my white people, you know, the ones that's cool, not the racist ones, but not all white people are bad. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video. And I think that's all I had to say, so yeah.